right, moving on to theme number 2. Theme number 2, bum, 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 bum. Let me pull this up. Okay, theme number 2. Now, Alice asks, so the real question is, did Johnny already own that suit or did he just buy it for this bit? Actually, I'll give you the honest to truth answer. Kris bought it for him. I did. I was like, Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas. You deserve this suit. And it's perfect on him. I said, what size do you wear? He told me. I was like, okay, done. Check. Yeah, so glad we're plaid to the bone. We had come up with so many. In fact, oh my goodness, there's so many. In fact, we actually filmed a couple more too of music. I can't remember what. Old MacDonald plaid a farm, E-I-E-I-O. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, they said. Anyway, so that's a little bit of background there. All right. Thing number 2. Did he already own the shoes? Oh, he already owned the shoes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going to do a fun project today that will hopefully, I don't know, maybe some of you have done this before. If you were in Christmas Club last night, I already talked about it. Sorry. So sorry. It's going to be a repeat from last night. But it's because it was kind of a crazy day today with going down to Salt Lake and back. So, I thought, you know what? I'll put something together that we did in Christmas Club yesterday. A little bit. So yesterday in Christmas Club, last night, we did a patchwork scarf, which was super fun. And we followed a certain pattern for it and everything. And so that's not what I'm going to be showing you today. But after that was over, we did the patchwork scarf. And then there were questions people had about how could you make that into one long scarf? Okay, like an infinity scarf, but one long one. Instead of patchwork, how do you do it in long pieces? And so I decided to share that because the patchwork scarf was so easy. We got done so quickly that I said, well, let's do this one now. And so that's why I thought I would share with you today because it's so simple. It's so simple and easy and fun. And I'm actually going to be doing this with fleece today. So fleece, that's something we don't hear about quite often in the quilting world, but we're going to talk about fleece. This would be such a fun project to do for if you had like sports teams, okay, fleece, school colors, just some fleece that you fell in love with. So I'm going to share that with you today. I do not have a pattern written for this. It's so simple that I was like, you know what? Let's just take some notes down here. Okay, guys, take some notes if you would like to know how to do this. So the first note, numero uno, is that you need 2 pieces of fleece that measure 7 inches by approximately 60. Okay, now this is approximate measurements. This is what I'm going to show you today. We're going to do this. Okay. So 2 pieces that are 7 inches by 60 approximately. So what does that mean? It means if you purchase 1/2 yard of fleece, you're good. Okay. 1/2 yard of fleece, you'll be able to do the scarf. Okay, so let me take you over to the sewing machine now, and I'll show you how simple it is, and I'll show you my little trick for being able to have, be able to turn something right side out, inside out, all of the above, have an infinity scarf that looks pretty cool, and you made it. And the cool thing is it's going to cost you like $5, under $5 to make this scarf. So I've already cut out, I have some buffalo check here, and I've already cut out 2 pieces that are each 7 inches by 60. All right, 7 inches by 60. All right. Yay, Barb says she took notes last night. Awesome. If you were with me last night, you remembered that I had said I wish I had had a 60 millimeter blade. Ooh, look at that shining there. Yeah, I had one today. Made cutting this much easier. So let's pull this down. And all you're going to do is put these two pieces right sides together and line them up one against the other. This scarf is so forgiving too, that if for some reason it is not absolutely straight or exact, or things are like, oh, I have a little bit more over here. Like, I'm serious, you guys, please do not fret this. This is a very, very forgiving project. So what you're going to do is you're just going to sew 2 seams. That's it. We're going to sew a seam down here to create a tube and a seam down here to create a tube. Don't sew your short ends. You're keeping this open as a tunnel or as a tube, if you will. Okay, with that being done, now I'm going to take you over here to the sewing machine. And I actually did put a walking foot on today. Walking foot just helps, bring all those layers through at once at an even rate. Walking foot, if you think about it, our sewing machines have feed dogs on the bottom. A walking foot has quote unquote feed dogs on the top. So you're getting a nice even pull from both the top and the bottom at the same time. I always recommend using a walking foot when using heavy layers, or if you're sewing with minky, you want to have those all go through at the same time. So walking foot is very helpful. It also, you will find it helpful to lengthen your stitch just a little bit. And I lengthened mine to a 3.0. I'm also using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, let's do this. Okay, now I'll turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. I hope you don't mind watching for just a minute. I promise it gets better. Okay, let me mention one more thing. On one of the long sides, you do need to leave an opening by, I don't know, maybe 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches. So what I like to do is I like to sew a few inches in, then leave my opening, and then continue sewing the rest of the way. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and leave that opening right there. I'm cutting my threads and I'm just skipping over a few inches. And now put my foot down again and I will continue to sew. Okay. I'm kind of doing this at a weird angle, so I'm a little worried that I'm not catching this. Let me grab that. Okay, because I'm trying to look at this at the same time as the computer. There we go. I could have pinned this too. That probably would have been helpful, but you know. Okay, there we go. So both sides have been sewn down with the exception of a little hole. Where did my little hole go? My little opening is right here. All righty. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn the whole thing right side out. Okay, this is very, very important. The absolute entire tube is going to be right side out. All right, so now you have these two openings here. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm actually going to trim up my edges a little bit. See, they're a little ski-wampus. So I'm going to come over here real quick and just trim them up a titch. Let's see. That. And on this side, same thing, just to even it up. That one looks pretty good, but just for good measure, I'll make sure it's all even. Okay. Okay, so with your tube now working, looks like this. You have to think to yourself, how do I match these two together and have it look seamless? Well, my friends, this is the trick. This is the trick. Once you have turned it all the way right side out, you're going to do something that may seem a little counterintuitive, and that is you're going to go backwards and you're going to turn it right side in once more, just a little bit, because you're going to take that all the way down until, boom, you've hit the other end. Okay, so you're only doing it halfway. You're not doing it all the way. And that is the trick, my friends, is because you turn it all the way right side out, then you turn it right side in again, but only halfway until this end meets with this end. Line up your seams. Okay. There you go. You can place some pins in there if you wanted to. And then you simply sew just around this. Then what you do is, remember the opening I had earlier? You're going to flip it through that opening. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stitch around this right now so we can watch this magic happen. There we go. Set that underneath there. Oh, the bobbin thread is almost empty. Of course. Oh my goodness. I'm going to push myself and see. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever like, no, just a little bit more, just a little bit more? It keeps stopping on me like, no, really, Kris, really, lady, your bobbin thread is almost empty. I'm warning you, it's almost empty. And I always push it to the limit, kind of like my gas tank. And I go, oh, I can go a few more miles. Oh my gosh, I'm so close. I'm like this close, you guys. All right, I can do this. Now I'm like this close. Now I'm this close. Oh, I'm almost there. I did it. Oh, hallelujah. Do a back stitch. Let me make sure that the bobbin all worked. Yes, it did. Phew, I did it. Tell me I'm not the only one who does that, right? Oh my goodness gracious. I know Cheryl says, I'm a bobbin chicken. You're not a kidding. You're not a kidding, Cheryl. Okay, so I have that. And now all I have to do is pull through. I just need to find my opening. Where did I put my opening? It's here somewhere. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You guys saw me leave that opening. Where did my opening go? Oh my heck. Okay. You know what? When in doubt, I'm going to create my own opening. By golly. Okay. Try the inside. It's probably, I know, it's there somewhere. It's fine. It's fine. I just have a new opening. There we go. See, you make it work. It's on the inside. Yeah. Oh, well. There we go. Oh, I just found it. There you go. It's all good. There we go. Ta-da! And it's done. I should have started, when I did this, I should have started at the other side. Then I would have had my opening where it needed to go. All right. But look how simple that was, you guys. I mean, so incredibly simple. It just doesn't get any better. And anyway, there's my opening. So all I have to do is just fold in that opening. I could do a top stitch if I wanted to. Wouldn't look as pretty, but I could certainly do a top stitch, or I could do a ladder stitch right there. Close that. That would be perfect. And there we go. That's as easy as it is to do a scarf. So this is a longer scarf. You could actually, you could twist this and make it like a cowl. Talk about nice and warm. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. Can you imagine like making these with like favorite sports teams or, you know, anything like that? Oh, it's so fun and so easy. I was telling Christmas Club last night, I was like, you know what, you could put this up and keep your face warm. This would be a good gift to make like for your kid's bus driver. I mean, the postal, your postal workers, whatever. This is so, I mean, seriously, look how cute that is. I love it. So, and super, super simple. So there you go. That is how easy it is to make one of these fleece scarves. And it literally would take like 5 minutes. Okay, maybe 10. I don't know. Like it just, it's not long at all. It's two seams. Okay. Whew. Super fun and minky. Yes, Brenda. I love that. Would be very cute and minky for sure. Yeah. Oh, Brenda, what is a ladder stitch? It's a stitch that I actually did a 3 at 3. I've done a couple 3 at 3s on it. So you could go back to one of our 3 at 3s. You can look it up on our YouTube channel, or there's probably other tutorials out there on how to do it as well. But it's basically where you take your needle and thread, and you have like two sides of your fold, and so you bring the needle through the fold on one side, and you go over a 1/4 inch, and then you go straight across to the other side, go over a 1/4 inch, go straight across to the other side, and you've created like rungs on a ladder. So they're straight across. So it works out really, really well. And you don't see, you know, how you don't see how long, you don't see any of those stitches. If you've done it correctly, you will not see any of your stitches. It wouldn't even matter what color like thread you used. It would be perfect. So yeah. Let's see. You guys, this is the most comfy scarf. I'm seriously in love with the scarf. Now, I also last night I did it in green, in girlfriend green. And this was kind of a fun one too. So And you can do it with, regular fabric as well. It's just not going to have the like fluff to it or whatever. But I can see that this would just be like so warm and cozy. I have like a fun little black jacket that I would wear, and I would put this with it. And it's just such a talk about like a fun gift idea. And again, for under $5, you can make this. Um, this is this is fleece that is a very nice quality fleece. It's from Robert Kaufman's fleece, and so the quality is nice and thick and luscious. I love it. So it's not flannel; it's actually fleece. All right. Um, Judy says that looks beautiful, but a hot flash ready to happen. There you go. Yeah, and Barb said flannel and minky work together nicely too. I love that. That would be really nice, I think. Yes, Linda, wishes it was cold enough in Houston to wear one all winter. Yeah, I bet. No, I think I would like Houston very much. All right. So again, so simple to make, very, very easy. Um, Yay, Rhonda. OMG, I watched last night during Christmas Club, bought some fleece today, made this with you now. I made sure and bought plaid so I can post it for Plaid Friday. That's awesome. I love it, Rhonda. That's great. I think, was it D that you mentioned last night that you've seen where people will put in like a little pocket, like a little pocket on the inside, and then somebody can put their like um like their a card, a credit card, or your license or whatever, if you were out and about. Where I think that would be really cool is, like, say you're going sledding and you don't want to take your purse or anything like that, and if you had something like that just kind of tucked in there in a pocket, that'd be perfect, right? So really, really good ideas. Ooh, I like this idea. Debbie said for teachers on recess duty. Oh, I remember many times of recess, I was outside with those kids, and I'm thinking something like this would have been really, really nice. So, absolutely. Um, let's see. Marilyn said, if I make one for a child 7 to 10 years old, could I make it with one 60-inch strip? Um, Yes, but the 60 ends up being 30. So remember that. The 60 ends up being 30 because it's like now folded in half. And so you just need two pieces, two fabrics that are the same size. Now you could make this longer. Someone asked yesterday, like, I don't like anything up close to my neck. No problem. You could add, you could add length to that. This is just 7 inches by 60. It ends up being, by 30. So you certainly could add length to it. You can make it shorter. You can make it smaller. So anyway, yeah. Then make sure that you don't do what I did earlier. And when you turn it the halfway through, you need to start to you need to start on the opposite end of let's see. No, you need to start on the end where it has the opening and then pull it through so that the opening's at the top. But no big deal. I was able to just take care of it like that, right? So no problem. There's usually not a problem we can't figure out together. Right? So anyway, kind of fun. Oh, I love that. Christy said she just ordered her daughter boots for recess duty, and now she can make her a scarf. I love it. And it has a zipper pocket in between the top and bottom. I love that idea. Great idea. Yes, Terry Joe, you could put a piece of chocolate. You never know when you're going to need one of those, right? For sure. So, again, a very, very, very simple idea of what you can do. And think again, like, how fun would it be with team scarves? I might have to go find like some OSU fabric or something for Jess and McKay. Wouldn't that be a fun gift to give to them? Or maybe I just do the black and then maybe some red and white. That would work too. So, Sherry asked, has anyone done two different materials? Yes. Someone said earlier they'd done flannel and fleece, I think is one, or you could do flannel and cotton. You could do flannel and minky. You could do all minky, whatever you want. So anyway, so just some fun ideas there. And I hope you enjoyed learning something new. Maybe you'll make a bunch of these for during the Thanksgiving weekend.